Hi, I'm Trey O'Brien. Today I'm going to talk to you, the entrepreneur, about your ego. The ego is something that we have. It doesn't go away, you can't get rid of it. It might be the driving force behind why you're so successful, what drives you to achieve what you're there for, what you're trying to accomplish. But is the ego getting in your way? Is ego your greatest asset, or is it your biggest liability? You probably know that you're the best decision maker when it comes to matters of your own business. But how often do you defer to the experts in what they're experts in? This is where the ego clash can come against our best intentions or our best judgment. The ego can get in our way by providing us with overconfidence, thinking that we do have the right decisions in our grand scheme because we see the bigger picture, whereas an expert in their field would see only what they are an expert in. Well, the ego can get in your way if you're not allowing experts to advise you, or if you're trying to push something or force something that is not meant to be, that is not beneficial or not intended as a good consequence in your business. The impact of the ego in your decision making can cloud your judgment by providing you with overconfidence in your own assessments of the situation. You've probably got a lot going on in your mind and in your every single day activities, in your day-to-day business and in your life, that your confidence in your business can be unshakable. This might lead to very productive action that you're taking, decisions that you're making, and trust that you can place in yourself in your own decision making. However, the ego is something that we can use as a tool for the right purposes. Having an expert that you trust, that you can defer to, by leaning into them, you allow yourself to focus better on and more sharply in what you are actually an expert in. Trust in others and allow your ego to fade away in matters where you can defer judgment onto another person. Trust in others and allow experts to make the decisions about what they're experts in to advise you, the ultimate decision maker. Allow your ego to melt away and play with others rather than being a bulwark or resistance to advice. I'm not saying that the ego is bad. I'm saying that the ego is a tool and it's designed for a purpose. We all have one, and we cannot get rid of it. We cannot shed the ultimate ego, no matter how many layers we go down. But there's a difference between confidence and vulnerability when it comes to matters of the ego. If you trust in yourself and you exhibit confidence, you'll be a more powerful negotiator, you'll be a better leader, somebody that people can look up to and admire and trust and buy into. But that same confidence can become overconfidence, boiling over the lid of the pot. Therefore, it becomes a liability, which is why it's important to understand the ego and the role it plays in your decision making so that you can actually harness the power of your own ego rather than be led by it. When it comes to your business, you have built it from the very beginning. You know best where you've come from, how you got to where you're getting. And in new ventures, your ego plays a part in creating success by creating confidence in an idea, a vision that you have to carry that vision out. That's what makes you an entrepreneur, and that's how the ego can help you harness your intentions and your ideas into action. When it comes to managing your ego, there are some strategies you can implement to help understand if you're being guided by the ego or making decisions independently of emotion, which is where the ego usually plays upon. And again, the ego is not a bad thing, but a tool for a specific purpose. So, some strategies you can implement to help understand when the ego is at play is self-awareness training, reflective questions that you ask yourself in order to develop an actual honest answer to reveal what's going on in your mind in your own thinking. Self-awareness training can play a dramatic impact on your understanding of your ego. Secondly, emotional intelligence training. This is one of the hot button topics that a lot of industries are harping on, are talking about, are swimming around in our culture right now. Emotional intelligence is possibly one of the most important factors to understanding the ego at play and the value that other people can bring into your organization. Emotional intelligence can help you create better decision making under more stressful circumstances by allowing you to understand and listen with empathy rather than bull charge through a china shop. Thirdly, a technique that you can use to manage your ego is cross-training. By developing skills in different organizational capacities, you can understand better how others would make decisions in their role, given their understanding of the circumstance and the factors that play in their role. Cross-training your managers can actually develop team bonding and encourage teamwork and understanding of others, which also develops to allowing the ego not to play on our emotions, but us to make informed and well-rounded decisions with others' perspectives in mind. To help you understand and manage your ego better, here's a 5-minute daily exercise you can implement consistently in order to gain command and respect of your ego. First of all, for 1 minute, set up a grounding exercise where you simply sit in quiet peace, allow yourself to breathe, and do not focus on anything. Just be. A grounding exercise can help you calm the nervous system and listen to the factors that are at play. For the next 2 minutes, think about a specific event or interaction from your day that elicited a strong emotional response or where you felt your ego come into play. Now, ask yourself these questions. What emotions did I experience during that event or interaction? How did I feel my ego come into play? Was it the desire for recognition or power or control or change? What things could I do differently the next time that event occurs that could change the outcome for the better or reduce the amount of ego that I felt during that moment? For the next 1 minute, visualize this experience with an ego-less approach. Imagine yourself in how you would respond to that approach without driving your actions with your ego, where you seek an answer with openness and the best solution for all rather than just yourself. For the next and final minute, apply what you've learned to set an intention for the next time the situation arises. When you're in a situation that elicits a strong emotional or egotistical response, apply the training and apply the decisions that you've just made into that next event by taking a breath and gathering your thoughts before making a response, or by thanking the person for their input, as valuable as you think it may or may not have been. By thanking somebody for expressing themselves, you're gratifying them and allowing them to feel heard, which also gives you more time to actually consider the other side's perspective, as valid or invalid as it might be. It will be helpful if you apply these trainings and techniques into your next ego-driven interaction so that you can better understand when the ego is at play and make more informed, more greatly informed decisions. Leaders should model humility and openness to change by setting an example and setting a tone that encourages community building activities and decision making. Consider the example of Steve Jobs. His ego was so powerful that it drove him to develop one of the most successful companies in the day. But then it ousted him. Steve Jobs collected himself by grounding and exercise, and then returned with an egoless approach to become more effective and skyrocket his own success and his business's success without the application of the ego in control, but now understanding under the hood rather than rearing its head up in every interaction.